Hello again. Welcome back to another Saint Comics DrawVlog, the show where I draw real slow and talk and tell you about things and my thoughts and what the heck's going on. And I'm gonna try to go a little faster this time. Last time it was like a big sort of scenery shot, which is tough. This one's just, as you can see, it's just a bunch of faces. It's just a scene of two people talking, basically, so I generally find those to be a little bit easier on me. A little bit, I have to, be a little less finicky about them. Is this right? There we go. Gonna just start here with some panels. Just gonna divide my dangle frame. Yep. Nothing to see here, folks. Just the nuts and bolts of the creative process. That's right. Just some creative genius at work and in process. Do not be alarmed. Here we go. Alright, now I have things on my mind lately. I have topics of interest. I have them written down here on my desk. Like, literally on my desk. I just wrote them on the table, because I just couldn't be arsed to find anything to actually write them on. And I see here that the very first one is something that I'm just totally don't care about right now. I sort of got into it on the last PCP, the one about witty banter, where I where I talk about porn comics and how I have very complicated feelings about them, how they kind of rub me in a wrong way, and in a way that I don't want to do them. I'm conflicted on how I feel about others doing them. Me personally, I know I definitely don't want to do them, but. Yeah, I'm not that interested in talking about that right now because I have much more important things to talk about, like how sad I am. I'm not really that sad, but I have been feeling I guess you'd say I'm in a funk lately. I'm in a bit of a little funk for various reasons, and maybe we'll talk about those. I'm a little behind on Champion here for a lot of reasons. I would say that since the time I started drawing, I'm probably about 2 weeks behind where I wanted to be, which is not terrible. I mean, it could be a lot worse, but it's not good. I don't feel good. Ugh. We'll talk about that, maybe. So why am I behind? Well, Brunswick took me about a month, right? Brunswick was probably the easiest time I ever had making anything because I knew exactly what I wanted it to be right from the moment it started. I had to come up with the individual shots and stuff, but there was never any question about what am I doing here? What's the point of this? I knew the whole time. It was very clear cut, and that was good. And it only took me a month. I set out doing Brunswick thinking I thought it would take me a week. That was wrong because not only did the project get bigger, but also I ended up putting more effort into the pieces of it, and it expanded. And it took me a month, but that's still not that long. So all through Brunswick, I managed to maintain more or less high morale. Now, I would say I've been drawing Champion here. Hands. Fucking hands. I would say I've been drawing Champion here for a month and a half to 2 months, somewhere between there. Maybe about 6 weeks. And yeah, I've passed the Brunswick line. maybe I'll name this phenomenon after that comic, the Brunswick line. And that is the point at which I've worked on a thing for too long and I hate it. And I have definitely, sometime in the last couple weeks, I definitely hit that point with Champion. I don't... Whenever I open up a new page to start working at it, I look at my sketches that I did weeks before and I'm just like, ugh, God, stupid. Oof, that pinky looks bad. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck drawing all the... Wait, that hand is tiny. Ooh, that hand is really tiny. Ah, it's too tiny. Fuck. Yeah. Anyway, in the last couple weeks, I hit a point where I would open a new page, look at it, be ugh, and that has affected my working pace because I find it a lot harder now to summon the will to draw, and I gotta get over that. It's stupid. I felt the same way about Vapors, both chapters, especially one because of how long it took, but both. I would open up a page and look at it and be like, oh, why did I do this? What is the point of anything? What am I even doing here? God damn it. Oh, yeah, that looks good. Yep, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna slenderize this arm a little bit. Yeah. So, a lot of times doing Vapors, I would just be like, fuck, man. Don't do this. It's stupid. No one's gonna like it. And, I don't know. I ended up being glad that I did finish it, so, you know, when I open up a new Champion page and I look at it and my first thought is, ugh, dumb. Why am I even bothering? What am I thinking? I remember that, you know, I felt the same way about the Vapors and I certainly don't regret finishing that, so yes, I can kind of I can kind of draw on that experience to sort of compel me to, you know, just get over it, dude. Don't let those shitty thoughts keep you from whatever doing the thing. Kind of like drawing hands. They're tough, but I feel like I've started to get the knack of them. I might only draw 3 fingers. Fuck it. I've kind of started to get the knack of them where I don't have to I can kind of just feel them out a little bit. I don't have to you know, think too hard about the anatomy and planning them out in advance. That's kind of true of a lot of things. The more I draw, the more I draw, the less I feel like I have to think about it. Like sometimes I can just put down a line almost without thinking about it, and I'll see it, and almost regardless of what the line I put down actually is, I can look at it and just sort of see how it could become the thing I'm trying to draw, and then just kind of go with it, you know? There's sort of, and just kind of follow along with my own little happy accidents or whatever. Drawing has become... I mean, I do still think about the fundamentals and technique, but more and more I just kind of feel it. And that's good. I mean, I think I have heard artists that I respect say that, you know, you always hear about how you just gotta feel it. And I am feeling it. I'm really feeling it. What is that meme from? What even is that joke? Is that Vegeta? I'm really feeling it? I don't know. Those shoulders are a little wide. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Yeah, okay. Good. I'm gonna start a new layer. So that I don't have to worry too much. This is kind of a small shot, so I'm not worrying too much about the details. I'm not gonna go ham on, drawing in lots of like folds on her dress or anything like that. It's not necessary at this resolution. The bust. Yes, the bust. What can I say about drawing the bust? It's tough. It's I'm always trying to make it look reasonable. I don't know. I try not to... I don't think that my characters look very, like, sexualized. I hope they don't. I don't try to make them look sexualized, but every time I draw boobs like I'm doing right now, I'm like, don't. Be careful. Yeah, I feel like I have to be a little careful because if you draw them the wrong way, it's easy to, like, I think you could easily end up conveying something you don't mean to, i.e., hypersexualizing a character, which is not something I want to do. Oh, that looks good. That looks in proportion. Yeah, that's way more in proportion than my original sketch. Hot dang. Wait, is it? Grumble, grumble, grumble. Yeah, I like that. So yes, I've been getting a little sick of Champion. It's okay. It's a natural part of the process, I guess. I know because it's happened before. Other things that are fucking me up lately. Pokemon Go. In both a good way and a bad way. I did not anticipate how desperately I wanted Pokemon Go. I did not think it would be a big deal for me, but it was. Once I started it, I just could not stop. For like a week there, I was going on Poke pilgrimages. I was going out there and just hitting the town, walking for hours and hours. It was great. I walked around Tufts campus in the rain, like holding out my coat, holding it over my phone so it wouldn't electrocute me and die. I found Dratinis on the football field. I found a Machop down some weird little side street. God, what a time. I went out with some friends one time, again on Tufts campus, because that's proven to be a pretty good spot for poke hunting, and we just ran around, like, yelling to each other, like, oh shit, there's a Hitmonlee. I think it's this way. Oh, the radar says it's this way. We're down to 2 paw prints. Because, it says if it's far away, it's 3 paw prints, and if it's closer, it's 2, and if it's nearby, it's 1. And so when you get closer, the paw prints go down, and you're like, oh shit, it's this way. Oh man. That was like the most fun I've had in forever. Pokemon Goddamn Go. And then, so yes, I lost a couple days to just playing Pokemon Go because I just couldn't stop because it was the best time. But now I'm depressed because Pokemon Go is broken and it doesn't work anymore. And people don't seem to realize. People think it works because they're dumb. Or they didn't play it when it was actually working. The radar is broken, basically. The radar that's supposed to tell you, like, where the Pokemon are, that thing about how it goes down to, like, 3 footsteps, it just doesn't do it anymore. It makes Pokemon tracking, like, impossible. And that was the most fun part of the game. That was the compelling part about going out and walking around and finding Pokemon. And now it's gone. Now it doesn't work. And I'm still playing the game a little bit because, like, I'm just on faith that it'll come back, and I mean, I hope to God it comes back, but until it does, it's just not fun. It's just a drag. It's just a downer. Oh my God. I'm bummed. I'm surprised at how fucking bummed out I am that Pokemon Go doesn't work. This face sucks. These proportions don't look right. Oh my God, everything I do is just a failure. uh, something's wrong here. Something's totally wrong. Maybe, I don't know. I shouldn't have drawn this on the same layer. I'm gonna undo the hair. I don't like that hair. Shit! I can't completely undo the hair. Anyway, I'm very depressed. I'm very upset. I'm really like I'm really upset. I'm going on the Pokemon Go subreddit and being grumpy at people who don't think it's as big a problem as I do, because I just want the game back. I just want it back. At the same time, I kind of don't want it back because I was playing it too much and it was cutting into my drawing time, and I mean that was bad. So in a way, maybe I'm kind of glad that it's broke. But for God's sake, I did not anticipate getting so into Pokemon Go. I did not. I'm level 17, by the way, Team Mystic, and I've been while the tracking system's been broken. I haven't been going out as much to do it, but when I go out for walks, I now walk around to the gyms and I hit up gyms. And I'm grinding Pokecoins, and that's, I mean, it's not fun, but it's something. Is that good? No. Kind of want her hair to give like a sense of motion. I kind of want it sort of be flying up and forward here. I don't want it to cover her eyes too much. Yeah, I guess that's good. I guess that's pretty good. How did I do her mouth in this? It looks good in the sketch, but you know what? Maybe I'm just gonna copy paste right from the sketch. This is a thing I've been kind of wanting to do. Like, some of these faces look pretty good in the sketch, and I don't think they need to be improved very much, so I'm gonna try and just actually use the sketch as the final art in any case where I think that's appropriate. And that's, I don't know, maybe I can save myself a little hassle that way. I really need to save myself hassle, because frankly, feels like a hassle these days. As I said before, I'm starting to get irritated with the whole champion thing. God dang. So any way I can save myself hassle is going to be a way that I can, keep myself motivated. Get this. Oh yeah, it looks pretty good. Maybe do I want to like? It's a little tangent with the hands. That's good. Do I want to add a little like? Which way? From the front or the back? From the front or the back should the tongue line go? Kind of like that. Yep, I'm gonna go with that. And those are my thoughts on Pokemon Go. I've caught a lot, by the way. I've been going out and fucking when I was actually going out and catching, I got some good shit. I caught a Gengar. That was a great catch. I caught a Hitmonlee. He's pretty weak, but it's still cool to have. I love Gengar, by the way. Gengar is one of my favorite Pokemons. A lot of people like Haunter, but I think those people are just edgelords. Because Haunter's, I don't know, he's got those cool floaty hands and the He's all spiky. Gengar looks kind of doofy, but I don't know, I like him. Maybe it's just because I had a Gengar in my team back in the day as a kid when I was playing. In my I remember a Gengar was one of the Pokemon that I beat the Elite Four in Blue with, so I'm a little attached to it. But I just think he looks cool. He looks all mischievous and kind of like... looks kind of evil. I mean, I guess Haunter does too, but Gengar more. I mean, look up, like, I don't know, just Gengar's got that, like, sneer, and he looks like, that's awesome. Fucking love Gengar. It's too bad, though, because Gengar's, in Pokemon Go, Gengar's max CP is not very high. He's not really a contender, which is a shame, but I'll probably use him anyway. I'll probably put him in as many gyms as I can possibly find, just to get him out there. To have people see, yeah, I use a Gengar. What are you going to do about it, idiots? Nothing. Can't do a damn thing about me and my Gengar. Yeah, it looks fine. It's fine. Forget it. This dress is kind of a blank void. It could use some... could use like one or two well-placed wrinkles. But where? Gotta feel it out, you know? There's no technique. Well, there probably is, but I don't know it. Just gonna feel it. Just gotta put the wrinkles where my heart tells me to put them. Or I'll just fucking get mad because none of these look right. Shit. This will kind of make her look fat. Everywhere I put them, make her look like she's got a gut. Damn it. It's not working. I wanted to trust my heart, but it's not working. If I put too many lines, it's gonna look like dirty. Yeah, that kind of suggests a front leg over here. Sure, whatever. Whatever. Other reasons I'm in a funk. Let me see. Let me check my shitty list here. Oh, yes. Bad news about my housing situation. It's a little complicated to explain, but basically we had one roommate who was paying more than the rest of us for reasons, and he's moving out. So basically we're losing a big chunk of our rent. Is not going to be paid by that guy anymore, so my rent is going up, and it's very sad for me. Basically, I've structured my entire life around getting my cost of living as low as possible. So this is a setback. I was approaching sustainability for a while there, like, in terms of Patreon. I think I was maybe... I'm at like 200 something on Patreon. I think I was maybe almost halfway to being able to like breaking even, right? Like to having like a sustainable living on Patreon. I was maybe a little less than halfway, but now I'm gonna pay a little more, so I'm maybe closer to like a third or something. It's just disappointing, but it is what it is, and there's nothing anyone can do. You know what? I look at that neckline and it looks a little off-center now. Yeah, so I'm bummed about that. Bummed about rent. Bummed about money stuff. I'm hoping that I won't have to move or anything. Because, I mean, like having to pay more for rent means I'm going to have to do more non-comics shit in order to keep myself eating. If it got so bad that I actually had to move, that would just be an enormous hassle. And that would be... So hopefully it doesn't come to that. This guy... Man. This guy's sketch looks really good, but it's not clean. Like, her this line layer is very clean now. And this guy, he looks good, but he's rough, so I guess I gotta do him too. Whatever. Again, it's not a very big panel, so I don't have to really stress too hard about the details. Let's see, this guy's beard is not particularly long. Just kind of the suggestion of a beard is what I was going for. This guy, he's the look I was going for him is like somewhere between, like, he's kind of a refined guy, but he's also maybe a bit naive. Honestly, he's like a goofy millennial. Not really. He's got a job and stuff. Like, I don't know. He's sort of a professional guy, but like naive a little bit. Probably someone you would expect to meet at some sort of shitty party. I don't know, he's kind of a dweeb. But friendly? He's probably someone I could hang out with. And I would have a reasonable time, but then when I left the party, I would be like, yeah, that guy was kind of a dweeb, but I wouldn't mean it in like a hostile way. Like, I wouldn't mean it like, oh, fuck that dweeb. I would be like, yeah, he was a little bit of a dweeb in retrospect, but I'd be fine with that. That's that's what I think about this guy, who isn't even he's not a particularly important character. He may show up in future chapters, I don't know. Probably, he probably will. But he's not like a main character or anything. That hair, I guess it's okay. It should be a little wilder. A little wilder. He's not completely clean cut. He's sort of, yeah, he has kind of this like slightly wispy beard, I guess, which sort of makes him look a little bit like a high school kid or something, or someone who, like, I don't know, sort of a youthfully, sort of a look that's kind of in between adulthood and youthful naivety. Yes, that's what I was going for with the look of this doofus here. Bless me. I feel like he's supposed to be a little scruffier. Maybe I'll just, yeah, I'll give him a little bit in the back there. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. Hey, I just realized I didn't give her a nose. She could use a nose. Yeah, it's plenty. That's plenty of nose for her. She's Agatha. I don't know this guy's name. I never actually gave him a name. She never like refers to him by name. Whatever. It's not important. Oh, other reasons for my funk possibly include Hiveworks. Got rejected from Hiveworks. Now, I'm not overly bent out of shape. By the way, if you missed it, Hiveworks is like a publishing collective, like a webcomic sort of online publisher. Basically, if they had accepted me, they would have helped publicize me a little bit, and it would have meant some exposure. That's it. I'm not overly bummed about not getting selected. I didn't necessarily expect to. I think my work is of a quality that it's could be, but like that's not the sole determinant, right? Like whether they pick you has more. It's to do with more than just whether you're good, right? Like, okay, this is the only thing that actually frustrates me about it. It's not that I wasn't picked, it's that I'll never know why I wasn't picked. Like, I don't know if they thought my work was not technically up to snuff, which, I mean, come on. I doubt it. I mean, look at me. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm a genius. I don't know. So I don't know if it was like a technical thing where they thought, oh, it's not drawn a certain way, or if it's just like not on brand for them. Honestly, I think that probably had more to do with it, because like I think I've seen two of the comics that were picked this round, and um, and I don't mean this as a positive or a negative, but they're both very Hiveworks. They're both very on brand for what I would consider that company's corporate identity to be, which is to say they're very colorful, which, obviously is not my work. My work is the opposite of colorful. It's literally black and white. I don't know if that would have affected their decision. They do have some black and white comics, although not very many. Very welcoming, very friendly. I don't think Champion or Vapors are particularly friendly. So, yeah, I don't know. Might have just been that I didn't fit their brand, and that's fair. Fair enough. It's just a shame that I'll never actually know for sure. But what can you do? This guy looks a little too... I didn't mean to make him look so horrified. Okay, that's better. Yeah, it's better without the little eye bags. He's not like shocked. No, I don't. He's not like, what? He's just kind of like, he's just sort of noticing. I like that. I like that. I kind of want to widen his face a little bit. He's supposed to be like a slightly chubby guy, so his face is a little narrow. Maybe I can just kind of... Maybe I can just kind of scooch it over a smidge right here. Oh yes. That's better. That's much better. Ah, boy. Boy, oh boy. How far into this recording am I? 20 minutes? I haven't even done one panel? God. God in heaven. I can't do a goddamn thing. Wait, no, he doesn't have a tie. He's wearing like a polo shirt and a sweater vest. He has kind of a square shape to him. Here's something that I think I could improve on. I feel like my characters are not very differentiated by body type. They're all kind of... They're all pretty normal looking, like anatomy-wise. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I guess it does sort of give the whole look of the world kind of a more grounded aesthetic, like Scott Pilgrim. Like everyone in Scott Pilgrim has basically the same body type, and I feel like maybe I am a little like that, but I mean not as much. It's not quite as sort of I like that look though. I like the sort of the Scott Pilgrim characters. They all have the same body type. But, like, so do the characters in, like, Homestuck, right? Like, they're all literally the same sprite. Or the same template with, like, different shit pasted on them. But the characters in My Little Pony are like that, too, right? But it's okay. It's, like, a unifying aesthetic, and the fact that they all share sort of the same shape just kind of serves to further highlight their, the differences that they do have, right? So, like, I don't think it's necessarily bad. But on the other hand, I don't think my work looks like that. I mean, my stuff is not as cleanly sort of cartoonified as like Scott Pilgrim or Homestuck or MLP or anything to get that kind of aesthetic. And I do really like the like really varied body types of characters in shit. No, he doesn't wear a tie. No tie. In like One Piece would be the best example of like characters just look fucking wacky. Characters look. If you haven't read One Piece, you won't know what I'm talking about. But they look fucking wacky, dude. People are like 9 feet tall and like incredibly wide sometimes, just for no reason. They have like really weird shaped heads, and it's cool. It's a good guy. I shouldn't. I've said before, I don't want to worry too much about this panel because it's not even big. Oh, and here's something. Here's something that I've kind of decided for myself that I'm going to try and do from now on. In previous chapters and previous... Oh, now here, I'm going to try and display... This guy is he's kind of broad-ish, but he's also a little chubby, so I'm going to try and give him just sort of the barest suggestion of like a gut here. Just the chest goes in here, and then instead of continuing to go in over the ribcage, it just kind of juts just like a little bit. Because he's wearing like a sweater over it, right? Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was just crucial to share with you. Fuck, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. In previous chapters, I have done things that I hugely regret, that have been huge wastes of time. For example, in like the first page of Vapors Chapter 1, in like the bottom right panel, is like a tiny panel, but it's an incredibly detailed drawing of the room that they're in. And I used like a tiny fucking brush, and I went in there with my Newt detail and filled in all this fucking detail in this minuscule panel. I spent like a day and a half drawing this tiny ass panel. It is honestly probably the worst thing I've ever done. It was the biggest mistake of my whole life. Holy shit. And so I've vowed to never ever do that again. And the way that the solution I have come to is that I'm going to, whenever possible, use only one brush size in any given image. So like, well, this isn't really a good example because it's two characters at like the same sort of viewing distance. But like, say I had like two characters kind of small and then like a big background all around them. I've decided that the best thing to do is to draw the character, like no matter how much detail I could put in, I'm going to limit it by I'll draw the characters and the background all at the same brush size. And what I think, and what that has been doing for me lately, and what I think is what it is meant to do, and what it will hopefully continue to do, is that it unifies the image because it's all drawn in the same line weight. Well, no, not the same line weight, right? Like the line weight can vary, but the brush size itself kind of gives the lines a flavor of their own that's like, it's all sort of, the brush size determines the range of line weight variation there can be, and so even though the line weight can vary, if it's all drawn with a brush of the same size, it still sort of gives a unifying effect to it. And it also, most importantly, limits the amount of unnecessary detail that I can put in. Because if I'm drawing if I draw the characters with like a, I don't know, I'm using a 50, with like a 50 pixel brush, then I have to go in and draw the background with a 50 pixel brush, and that means that I cannot fall into that trap of, shrinking my brush down to like a 10-through brush and putting in tiny little details, super tiny details in the background that are like just going to fade into the background and be super tiny in a tiny little panel and just be a waste of time. So, yes, that is a decision I have made about how to draw my shit in the future. I'm going to stick to it for the foreseeable future and see where it could be. Fuck this cup. Fuck this cup. Fuck this hand. Fuck this hand. Come on. Come on. Going in and surgically. There we go. There we go. It doesn't look great, but I don't care. That arm looks a little big, but it's no big deal. He's kind of a big guy. For you. Haha. Memes. Let your memes be dreams, friends, colleagues. You're not my colleagues. Fuck you guys. Fuck you, listener. Jesus. Well, here we are, like half an hour in. I'm sort of getting close to finishing this one panel. God, I'm such a disappointment. To myself, more than anyone. Probably to you as well, I'm sure. No, bad. Bad. What else did I write down here? Maybe I will talk about porn comics. And how weird I feel about them. Like, I found this series. It was on Hiveworks, that's how I found it. It was called The Floriverse. And it was kind of a very... It too was a very, Hiveworks brand. A very, colorful, cutesy sometimes, but with a dark edge. Ooh. Yeah, whatever. Kind of colorful thing about like some little like monster creatures. And it's a Floriverse is a big fucking thing. The Floriverse is like, it encompasses like tons of different chapters about like a whole host of characters that all live in this world, and like the creators, they make all these extra posts about like, monster designs they've come up with, and I think they encourage like community involvement, which is pretty nifty. And like the way when I found them, and the thing that encouraged me to look more into them, was that the very first page of Floriverse I landed on was not actually a comic page at all, but was like a little flash game where you play this weird little mole running around in this sort of dark kind of alien world. This looks... I think this guy's got to move up. Oh, jeez. This looks terrible. I mean, I sort of shrunk them down. They're sort of supposed to be in a, for lack of a better word, chibi... Look at his eye. For lack of a better word, chibi style here. And that's kind of intentional, but I think I think I've maybe overdone it just a little bit. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so the first page of the Floriverse I landed on was this Flash game, and I really respect... And it reminded me of Homestuck, right? Like, it's a comic, but here it was this, like, Flash bit in it. And I respect when creators can, they sort of work broadly like that, and they kind of go outside of... they're not necessarily about just one thing, they can explore their story through multiple mediums. I like that stuff. So I was like, this is interesting. Maybe I'll check it out. And I went and read the first story in the series, and it was kind of cool. It was about these two little monsters going around looking for some seeds, which honestly I never quite understood what the significance of the seeds were. It wasn't well explained, but whatever. They met this really cool, like, demon rabbit who was kind of rapey, but also like some kind of badass general, and she turned into a black, like, rainbow monster. It was neat. I guess I liked it. And then I went and read some more chapters, and they were cool. They had really nice art. Some of them were done in the style of like visual novels, which again, I respect that kind of thing. Telling it in the multimedia format. I found some things I didn't understand that I think were supposed to be like community engagement things at the time they were released. Like, there were some bits that like there was a part where like they're going on like a mission and there's 3 generals, and I think you were supposed to like choose which general you were gonna follow and then like write your own story about what happened on the mission that you had with the general you picked. Whatever, it was something's wrong. Something's wrong with these legs. Something's wrong with these hips. They don't look good. They don't look right. Ooh, I'm getting mad. Getting mad at myself. Yes, I'll just give them a fucking, because there's like a bench thing in front of them, so I'll just put a little bench here. But I don't want it to be too close to his drink. Yeah, okay, that works. Floriverse, yes. I don't know. I kind of liked it. It was cute. It was very Hiveworks, which is, it's that colorful, friendly, inviting thing, but with kind of a serious, dark edge to it that's so popular nowadays. Steven Universe-y, Over the Garden Wall-y, what else? Adventure Time, reminded me of that sort of thing. But anyway, I went and looked at their Patreon, and they're making a lot on Patreon. I was like, oh, cool, these guys seem really dedicated to their story. They're really creative, and they have a whole team, and they do a lot of stuff. And I respect this. I like it a lot. But then I went and I found their other Patreon, and it was for the like porn version, the like canonical porn stories that happen with the same characters in the same thing. And I was like, oh dear. So this is where some of that money comes from. I don't know why. I don't know why porn is so lucrative, but I don't understand, but it is. And I don't know. Kind of makes me kind of lost respect. I kind of lost respect for it once I realized that was like not even like a little thing, like a big part of it, like a sizable percentage of the content of Floriverse is like porn stuff about the characters. It really cast the whole endeavor in a very negative light for me. It made me just kind of reel back from it and be like, oh, was this story about cute little monsters just fucking furry shit this whole time? Like, the fact that even the non-porn stuff is like tainted now. Like now it feels like I was reading porn the whole time and I just didn't realize it until I found the part that admits it. I don't know. I mean, on the other hand, God, this sucks. These legs are terrible. Everything's bad. I'm just gonna like fucking sort of, God's sake. I don't want to spend any more time on this. What was I talking about? Floriverse, porn. It all seemed like porn by association. I don't know. Oh yeah. Now you could make the argument, and I would understand it, that like, art is about expression, and like sexual, like titillation is an emotional response that is, as legitimate as any other that one might try to elicit with their art. And I would agree with that. I mean, I think porn is art. Maybe not. I don't know, I guess I just don't respect it as much. For whatever reason. I don't know why that is. But I don't. I just don't, goddammit. And you could also say that, well, like these characters, right? Because it's the same characters in the porn comics as in the rest of the comic. It's the same characters, and like, sex is a part of life, and these porn comics just depict that part of their life, but it's no less legitimate a part than, the non-porn stuff, the, like, adventure-y, like, other stuff. And I would agree with that. I would say, yeah, you're totally right. You're 100% right that, like, these sexual scenes are in no way less, like, legitimate as, as, like, a focus for, or as the premise of, like, a work of art about these characters as anything else. That I would agree with. And I don't even think I can argue that. So that makes me wonder, like, if I believe that, and I do, then why is it that I don't respect this art form as much? Why is it that I feel bad and weird knowing that this stuff is a part of this continuity? And, like, I don't know, I can't quite square those two beliefs that I hold. That on the one hand, the porn is less respectable, and on the other hand, that there's nothing inherently, illegitimate about it, and there's nothing, Have I made this conflict within myself clear? I feel like I have. God, this little emanata I'm drawing. Oh God, I hate art. I'm getting real frustrated. I'm getting real fucking frustrated. But I kind of did this vlog as kind of an excuse to, like, kick myself into drawing again. As, like, if I'm drawing this, I can't stop, I can't give up now in the middle of this because I'm recording. I hate this. There, it looks better up there. God damn it. God fucking damn it. I'm so disappointed in myself. Look at this. Look at this shit. I don't like this. I feel terrible. I feel really bad about what has transpired here today, as you have... No. I just want it to be over. I just want... Shut up, phone. I just want Champion to be done, and I don't want to have to look at it anymore. Who cares? Who cares about this? Oh God, I'm having a little sad moment right here. I'm getting upset. Give me a second. You just gotta vape your troubles away sometimes. You just gotta vape your shit away. I don't know. This is a terrible note to end on, but frankly, I've gone through all my topics, and wait, no, I had one more. I had one more, and I'm gonna do it. God damn it. I'm gonna keep going. Because I have this shitty list that I scratched on my desk in a pencil. And as long as I'm here, I might as well keep going and talk about it. And that thing that I wanted to discuss, let me save this real quick, is this idea that I think about often in art, about how the value of a work of art is not inherent to the work itself, but how its value comes from its context and from people's understanding of the context that it exists in. And this is very frustrating to me because, I'll give you an example, right? Pokemon Go. It's based on this game that the developers made. I had never even heard of it, but it was called Ingress. Ingress. I don't know how to... Oh, this looks stupid. Oh, this looks bad. Okay. Ingress is a game. It's a fucking augmented reality. It's very similar to Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is basically just like an edited version of Ingress, where you go around and you do things, and there's portals or something. You close the portals, whatever. But no, I'd never heard of it. Nobody had ever heard of it. Some people had. But now fucking Pokemon Go is out. And Pokemon Go is the hottest thing. And like everyone knows Pokemon Go. Like everyone is playing Pokemon Go. At least at the moment. And even though it's the same game, basically, it's not quite the same, but it's very similar in many ways. And so even though it's like basically the same game, like it's not the game itself that got people interested in it. It's the fact that it's Pokemon and like the context that brings into it, right? Like the reason I tried, not the reason I enjoyed Pokemon, I mean I enjoyed Pokemon Go because I liked going out and hunting, and like the game itself proved to be enjoyable. This looks bad, I'll probably erase it. The game itself offered activities that proved to be enjoyable to me, but the reason I tried it at all was because it's Pokemon. And because I know Pokemon, and maybe most important of all, and the fact that I know other people know Pokemon, and the fact that I knew that it was going to be a big deal, right? The fact that I knew that other people would be playing it and talking about it. I wanted to play it and try it just to be a part of that conversation. And it's sadly, I myself am guilty of this. Myself and others, we consume media, and we choose what media to consume based on feeling like that, like feeling like we want to be part of the conversation and we want to know what other people are talking about. So if something's already famous, that's what this is all getting at. It's like a thing. The best way to get someone to read your shit or watch your shit or whatever is for your shit to already be famous. They have to think like it's people are already all watching this. They've got to watch it or read it or experience it or whatever, or they'll miss out not just on the thing itself, but on the culture and the conversation surrounding it. And it's a real bummer. It's a real catch-22. Like, in order to get people's attention, the easiest way to do that is to already be famous. There's... what can even... that's fame, right? That's what fame is. I don't know any way around that. There are people... there are people, and I guess in some sense I'm one of them, although I'm not... anyway, there are people that deliberately seek out something new that no one has ever heard of before. People do look for new shit, unheard of shit to try out and, discover new things, and that's great. I think that's awesome. I kind of wish I were more like that. I kind of wish I did more of that. In fact, ooh, that looks good. That actually looks better than the sketch. Hot damn. I don't want to put too many lines on this guy's face. Like, he should have more lines than Agatha, because he's like a male. But he shouldn't have too many, because if you put too many lines on a face, he look old, and he's not old. I don't want him to look old. Like, in fact, as I described before, I kind of want him to have a sort of look of a sort of adult, but with a youthful naivete. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, he sort of looks toothless. I want his mouth to be... I don't want to make his mouth too small, because that's feminine. A small mouth is feminine, and I don't... Yeah, that looks good. That looks pretty good. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Yeah, some people do seek out new stuff, and I mean, I'm on the record as being a giant fucking hipster who hates popular shit just because it's popular. I openly admit to doing that, and it's because I kind of resent the fact, and I'm not even arguing against it. Like, I'm not even proposing any solution to this, because I don't think there is any. I think it's kind of just a fact that we've got to deal with. But I still resent it, is the fact that, you know, if something is popular, it can only get more notice. You know, and fame and recognition are loops and vicious cycles that feed into themselves, and I hate that, and I wish I could resist it. I know I can't. Nobody can. But I don't know. I guess I like to make at least some gesture of trying to say, like, oh well, let's not just like a thing just because it's popular, even though lots of popular things are also good. It's the fact. Yeah, so and you know, this reflects on me in that, I mean, my comics and me have some audience, but not like a big one. You know, not like, we're not like, I'm not getting, like, discussed on 4chan very much, or anything like that. So, like, there's no one, you know, not many people are out there wondering, like, what is that wacky Ben Saint gonna do next, you know? But you need that. You need people to be thinking about that in order to fucking have any hold on the market, I guess, in order to, I mean, that's how your shit gets seen, is that people wonder about it and people think about, what the fuck am I talking about? You know, I kind of wish I'd used a bigger brush. Like I said before, I'm going to use the same size brush. Maybe I will. I mean, she's like way in the foreground, so I will kind of, I'll use like a bigger brush here. Also, this profile looks really weird. I'm pretty bad at drawing faces in profile. Like, I haven't really figured out my characters' noses yet. I wonder if I'll even... fuck. Oh, that looks good. Kinda. Ooh, I kinda like that. Ooh, yeah, there's something. There's a little something there. Let's get it out, and then in. No, fuck. See, the jaw should kind of protrude. But I also kind of want the nose to go back in a bit, so maybe the nose should come out, like, much further, like that. No. I mean, she's kind of got a widow's peak. So here, I'll start the head a little lower. And then... Is this a new layer? Yeah, this is a new layer. I got a little hand down here. I like how that hand came out. I hope it translates into the line layer. Is that good? No, it's bad. That, ooh, yes. You know what? I like that. I'm going with that. Okay, here we go. Now this time, I'm not gonna fuck up. I'm gonna... Ooh, yes! Yes! Came out good. I like that. This part's gonna get covered by hair, so whatever. Oh, that's cute. That's a good balance of a, you know, sort of a protruding jaw with like a little pointy nose there. That's about the shape I wanted. Yeah, I did it. I did something good. Whew. New layer. Now for the hair. let's see, her head kind of goes, her head is about that size. My female characters, I've sort of settled on a shape for them that is sort of like shovel shaped. They have kind of like wide faces, but Agatha's face is not pointy. Sophia's face is much pointier, but it's kind of shovel shaped. I don't know, I think it looks good. The first time I drew someone that looked like that I can remember was actually for Digi. He told me about an OC of his from a book, or a short story that he had written, or like what would have been a light novel. Maybe I need a bigger. This hair, I don't like that little. That's too big. Yeah, so he had a story that he had written some of, or maybe he hadn't even written it, or he had written bits or something. I don't know, but it was about some girl in like a sort of a city. I guess there was like gangster-ish elements to it. Honestly, I don't remember the details. This is a while ago, but her name was Dark Holy, and she had an evil nemesis named Scarlet Dream. I might be getting that wrong. Anyway, I drew him like a little bit of fan art, I guess you could call it, for these characters of his, and he really liked it. And I really liked it. I made it all red and glowy. It looked fucking awesome. I put it on my DeviantArt, and I think I tweeted it too. Yeah, Dark Holy and Scarlet Dream, I'm pretty sure is the name of the characters. Yeah, and I gave them both these kind of like wide, sort of shovelly looking faces, and I don't know. It wasn't like I did that and I looked at it and thought, there we go, I've found my style. Aha. That's just kind of how she came out. And then when I was Agatha's hair kind of, it's a little messy, but it's there's sort of like a weird balance to her, to like where her sort of hair sort of spikes out, that I haven't quite gotten it down to a science yet. I just kind of wing it every damn time. Yeah, so it wasn't like I drew that face and gave it that shape and was like, yes, I found my style. I just drew it like that naturally, and it just was what looked good to me at the time. And then later, when I was drawing Sophia, she just kind of ended up looking like that too, and I was like, this looks kind of like that other time I drew that girl, and she sort of had that same shape head. It happened naturally, is what I'm saying. It wasn't like me consciously deciding on a style. Although I feel like maybe in the future I should put more effort into consciously deciding a style, because while on the one hand, having your style arise naturally is all well and good, I know that Brian Lee O'Malley did deliberately design his character's style, at least to some extent, probably more than I did. Like, he said that the look of Scott Pilgrim's eyes were based on one of the reindeer girl from one of those old claymation Christmas movies. They're not actually claymation, but you know what I mean. Like the one with Frosty the Snowman and the one with the Island of Lost Toys. Is it an island? I think it's the Island of Lost Toys. I don't want her hair to protrude too far. Maybe I don't want to use too big a brush, because then I can't really give the hair much texture. But I don't want to use too small a brush. If I use too small a brush, then it sort of ends up looking weird and too detailed. I want a large brush. When I use a large brush for the hair, I feel like the effect it gives is that I can keep the brush strokes loose, and I don't have to worry about going into too much detail on the hair, and I can kind of get away with not getting too fussy about it. Like, if I can make the hair look okay with like a few broad brushstrokes like this, then I think it ends up looking better. I really think that, yeah, the less effort it looks like I put into it, the better I tend to think it looks. I don't know if it looks that way to everyone else, but I don't know. Fuck how it looks to everyone else. On my own, that looks kind of good, but I don't really like how it's blocked in the panel. I want her hair to like clearly rise as it goes back. Blah, blah, blah. She's sort of got a major Kusanagi hairstyle going on. I guess. Not really. Like a very toned down version of that where it's a little longer, it's a little bit longer in the front than on the side. I don't want the hair in the front to be yeah. No. No. I want to see that neck, that chin. I think it came out really good. Oh wait, does it look better if I can't see it? No, it looks better if you can see it. I really like the way that the neck came out. I want it to at least be clear where it's supposed to be. You know, these guys are both millennials. Honestly, the attitude, I think the attitude I was going for, with like all the characters in this story is like they're all a bunch of fucking millennials. And I mean in the best of ways and in the worst ways. Like Sophia's kind of a brat, Agatha's kind of a kind of vapid, I guess. Wouldn't call her dumb exactly. She's someone with very I don't know. You know, I can only describe her in negative terms, even though I don't actually think she's a bad person. I guess I would say she's someone with very. She's very frivolous. She's kind of a frivolous person, which is really bad. If someone called me a frivolous person, I would be devastated. But it's fine for her. And this guy is sort of a dweeb, but that's not like front and center. You won't like read this comic and be like, "Oh man, what a dweeb." He's not really there to make an impression. He's sort of just there to bounce fucking words off of. That's why he doesn't even have a name. I like to leave negative space in the hair, but I think I fucked it up. Does this look bad? Does that negative space in the hair look bad? It doesn't look as good as it always does. I might have to go in and fix this. God. Alright. I'm gonna finish this face and then I'm all done with topics, so I'll call it quits. Her damn hair is in the way of her hand. I don't want it to be. Shit. And I gotta switch back to my other pen size. Oh yeah. Oh man. The hand looks even better here than it did in the sketch. God damn, well that doesn't happen very often. But I'm quite pleased with that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I am. Alright, if her hair ends there, I want to get that line away from it. And there we go. Look at that negative space. It's perfect. Any other... God, anything else I can talk about? Pokemon Go. I'm so sad. I'm so sad about Pokemon Go. The other day, I went out for a walk and I ended up I got 5 gyms. I managed to put Pokemon in 5 gyms. Only one of them did I actually, like, battle to, like, you know, open up a slot and get my guy. And the rest I just happened to stumble upon gyms that had empty slots and put my guys in there, and that was pretty sweet. Wait, shit, I forgot. Ooh, I forgot over here. She's supposed to have eyelashes. Not like huge ones, but she's definitely supposed to have them. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna add in just a little bit. No. Changes her expression. She's not supposed to look angry. Okay, that looks good. I'd really like my Gengar. I'd really like my Gengar to be in charge of gyms. I'd really like people to see my badass Gengar and be like, Ben Saint, what a badass Gengar trainer. What a ghost type badass. Ghost is one of my favorite types. I think it's my second favorite type to Ice. Ice is my favorite type. There's an Ice Ghost Pokemon, but he looks goofy. I don't like it that much, even though I wish I did. That looks good. Now she's surprised here. She's a little startled, but she's not like terrified. If she was like, "Oh God," then I would give her like a tiny little pupa like this and be like, "Oh no." But she's only a little bit. And she's looking slightly down, because that's where the action's at. There we go. And I want to give her those. I'm gonna leave off the eyebrows for now. Fuck it. But the eyelashes, maybe it's better to just leave off the eyelashes in this shot. I don't know if I can even make them. Nah, that makes her look angry. This makes her look sad. This makes her look sort of neutral. Oh, that's good. That's kind of a good. I don't want her to look angry or sad. I only want her to look a little. I don't want her to look scared either. If I give her a little like eye dealy, then she looks kind of scared, and that's not right either. Did I even give her a mouth in the sketch? I can't really tell. Yeah, I did. She had a little bit of one. Yeah, that's good. Got a little blushies. She's got her little blushies. Oh, that's nice. They came out good. Okay. I really want to get this done because I'm totally out of things to say. Gosh, what a terrible plan. What a terrible idea to do this gosh dang vlog today. But wait, I think I kind of... Okay, I've somewhat undersold her expression here, but if I can give her some kind of like shock emanata coming out of her head, I think that should do it. You know, like the ones that I fucking struggled so hard on with the guy over there in the first panel. Yes, Agatha is largely characterized by a perhaps overly enthusiastic and maybe an overly considered attachment and what's the word, value. She places maybe a little too much value in her entertainment, in much the way, you know, when you hear people talk about the golden age of animation that we're in, you know, people really like cartoons these days. People really gush about, you know, Steven Universe, MLP, Adventure Time, stuff that's like, you know, really revolutionizing and moving the medium forward and whatever. And, you know, if Agatha were a real person and lived in our world today, she would be like that. She's a brony, is what I'm saying. Not quite, but actually, yes, she definitely would be a brony. All that being said, I still like her. Yes. Well, ugh, 2 shitty panels done. And what did that take me, 40 minutes? Who cares? Well, everyone, I apologize for for who I am and for everything I've ever done. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.